Hey everybody, welcome to an episode of Horror Movie Night. This episode is sponsored by Andrew Wilson. You can follow him on Twitter at Andy18_1. When I asked him if there was anything that he would like to promote, he said the following: if you could retract all the previous criticisms of the modern horror classic Primal and maybe suggest that people give it a second watch, give it a couple compliments or something, that would be perfect. Andrew, you got to donate more than $1 for me to change my opinion on the piece of shit that was Primal. But thank you for listening. Thank you for donating. Do you guys have any words for Andrew? I know one of you knows Andrew.
Yeah, hey, Andy, I know you're listening. I didn't even fucking watch Primal, buddy. Fuck you.
And Andy, I watched it. I knew how bad it was, and I still didn't say no.
And someone's going to get my copy of Primal in one of the $25 care packages. Sorry, whoever that person is.
Yes, please, get it out of your house. Yeah. Nobody... just burn it.
It's like a cursed Ouija board, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, Andy. Ouija. Fuck you. Actually, Jesus, why do we start with him as a donator? Haircut, photo, arrest, Gacy, apricot, castles, montage of elderly people's eyeballs, a woman spewing gibberish, poorly dubbed dialogue, bullshit. Hey, look, I wrote an Italian film. Is there something of sensibility of the Italian that does not quite translate, or is Adam a fucking idiot and Scott a fucking genius? We'll find out with us as we dive headfirst into some sort of movie night, that apricot, sausage, balloon, dog, fumble plateau. Wait, what the fuck? Adam, is Phantasm II an Italian film?
Was it not? Okay, wait, one sec. No, I mean, I assumed that it was, and that was the explanation.
It's because Dan Coscarelli?
Well, yeah, that was my explanation as to why it made no fucking sense. Yeah, wait. Coscarelli? That's a totally Italian last name. That sounds pretty fucking Italian to me.
He's about as Italian as fucking pizza. Like,
that's pretty goddamn Italian.
No, not at all, actually. Not American pizza.
I got some sweet...
God damn it. I feel like Adam thinks that Don Coscarelli is the same as, like, Bava. Like,
hey, I looked it up, and he's Libyan, so I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
Well, I'm sorry, too, because his last name really sounds Italian to me.
Racist. So, we are back with another episode of Horror Movie Night. I am back from Disney. We are ready to go. I am full of energy and hatred of children. I'm right there with Adam now. So, let's talk about Phantasm II. So, this movie pretty much starts exactly where Phantasm I ends. And then
it does the best thing possible, and it, like, totally, retcons the original end of it. Great.
Oh, yeah. And then jumps forward like 6 or 7 years. So Mike has been institutionalized, but he has a telepathic psychic bond with this girl named Liz, who is afraid that the tall man is going to take her grandfather when her grandfather dies.
Yep. I'm still with you.
Okay.
Still with you so far.
So Mike fakes being recovered in order to get released so that he can save her. And that's when...
You can't just walk out of insane asylums. That's not how that works. But whatever, I'm still here. I'm still
So...
Wait. So wait, how did... Let's go back a couple weeks to Blood Rage. How did he get out of the insane asylum in that movie?
He just broke out. They got a phone call and said he escaped.
Why didn't he bother? You can apparently just walk out the front door. Hey, I'm good. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
He didn't have the same psychiatrist who was like, I think that... She's like, writing her note. She's like, I wonder how far I can push this psychic child.
Yeah. Well, Mike apparently had the therapist from the beginning of Jack Frost 2 who just sits there with the intercom for the rest of the room to hear. So he
had Bill Murray from the beginning of Ghostbusters. He's like, "Oh, you're so psychic. You totally got this." Absolutely.
I don't know, a bunch of wavy lines. So he recruits Reggie when he proves to him that all of the graves are empty in their graveyard, and then accurately predicts a house exploding mere seconds before it actually happens.
But dude, it's Reggie's house. You're glossing over the whole tragedy.
It kills everyone that Reggie knows. So now he is also got a blood rage for the.
So why were all the graves empty? Why did Reggie's house blow up? Why is anything going on right now? I'm so fucking confused.
I know Adam doesn't want an answer, but I'm going to give an answer.
Well, wait, hold on a second. This is important. Adam, have you watched the first Phantasm before?
No.
Okay, that is a huge issue right out the gate.
I haven't seen the movie.
I'm playing with a huge handicap right now. I have no fucking idea what's going on. These people are psychic. I don't know. What the fuck?
There's no frame of
Adam,
reference.
You're handicapped every week, though.
You ableist piece of shit. We're going to get tweets about this.
Oh, no, you're going to get tweets about this again.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm the one that has to handle that shit. Don't make me clean up your mess, Scott. Damn.
Listen, it's equally all of our messes. So I just want to bust in before Matt gets through the entire goddamn plot of this movie. There's a lot to unpack. I have a lot of notes. And also, I picked this movie.
Yes, you did.
I wonder how many more movies I can pick from 1988, because I am on a roll. Also, this is like the 6th sequel I've picked in our time as Horror Movie Night. It's like Summer Party Massacre 2, better than the first. Phantasm 2, better than the first.
Halloween 4.
Halloween 4, better than the first.
Nope.
No,
did you pick
we're only talking about part 2. What?
Did you pick Prom Night 2?
Yes, I picked Hello, Mary Lou. I also picked Ghoulies 2. I mean, these are all better than the originals.
I agree with most. I definitely...
I'd say he's at least 60% correct here.
Yeah.
And it's weird, because in this modern era, people complain about sequels, but I'd fucking watch Prom Night 2, Hello, Mary Lou before I'd watch Prom Night ever again. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Prom Night's boring as shit, to be totally honest.
Except for that, the chasing is really the only redeeming characteristic of the original Prom Night.
Same with, Slumber Party Massacre 1. That's, pretty straightforward, boring bullshit. Number 2, fucking awesome.
Yeah, Ghoulies 1 is almost unwatchable. Ghoulies 2 at least has some element of fun.
Ghoulies 1 is like almost Spooky's level.
Matt, we're gonna ghost Scott now until he sings me the song from Slumber Party Massacre 2. Don't say a word.
Okay. Anyway, so the Phantasm theme is killer. It's so good. Like, you guys didn't know that I loved it because
Sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
You failed on ghosting him as well.
No, I said I was so sure that was going to work.
You mean the It's Him song? Like the song that they play in the garage?
Don't get your way through it.
Also, let's backtrack to our Slumber Party Massacre 2 discussion where Adam sings "Vacation's all we ever wanted."
Oh, you stepped all over my joke. I was going to be like, okay, I'll sing it. Vacation's all I ever wanted. Vacation, so happy to get away.
Oh man, I know that I talk about Megan too much because the listeners are starting to be like, okay, we get it. You love your wife, but. I found that song, that whatever, if only I had him. That's the song that the girls sing in Slumber Party Massacre 2 in the garage. And I played it for Megan.
Now. You keep going.
I had it on my phone and I played it for Megan, and she was like, "Turn this off! It's awful." I was like, "What are you talking about? It's great." It's like, "This is the worst shit I've heard in months." So Megan doesn't like that. Pretty disappointed with her right now.
Well, at least she reads Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh man.
So
I just want to say that we'll remember you forever, Megan, through the sacrifice you made.
Nice. I was listening to that soundtrack this week. So yeah, the Phantasm theme is actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, and I always forgot how good it was until I'd rewatch the movie and be like, oh yeah, this is such a great theme for a horror movie. And then, I covered it last month, and I'm not sick of it yet. I played that so many times and then listened to it over and over and over through all the mixing process, and I'm still not sick of it. So that's definitely the sign of a good theme song, in my opinion.
All right, but let me try to catch Adam up here, though. Well,
no. Here's the thing. You're not going to catch me up because here's the problem. I am super fucking sick right now, and both last night. Yeah, that too. Both last night and today, I was respectively on NyQuil and DayQuil. So that's the worst possible fucking way to watch Phantasm because the shit didn't make any fucking sense to begin with. So me being a little bit fucking out of it did not help at all. You can try your best there, Matthew. Go ahead.
I was just going to give you a brief summary of what happens in Phantasm 1. So basically, Phantasm 1 is the story of two brothers and the older brother's best friend, Reggie. They live together in this house, and the little brother discovers that someone is grave robbing in the graveyard and turning them into little midget demons, and it's some tall man from another dimension that is doing it. And then at the that's all you need to know.
There's not a whole lot to take in Phantasm. It's basically like just visual. It's all about the visuals in the original Phantasm. It has no story.
But
that kind of explains why Willow keeps showing up and attacking our protagonist, I guess, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Phantasm 2 just assumes that you've seen a Phantasm 1 and never does any.
It did not hold my hand at all. Man. It did not help me in one iota. Nope.
So that's why they're going to graveyards. They're looking for graveyards with empty graves so they can find out if the tall man had been there already. And that's when they end up deciding to go to Oregon for some reason. I will say...
But no. They've been They have this whole voiceover that should have explained everything to Adam, but, I mean, okay, you're all NyQuil hopped up and can't really make sense of anything, so I accept that. But, there is an explanation in the movie. It's that they have been tracking him for, years.
Yeah.
And they just can't find anything. They find the graves, and they find entire towns that are devoid of human life, and then they try and follow the trail. It's they probably work their way across all of America, because I don't remember where the original Phantasm is set, but I want to say it's New England.
It looks very New England to me.
Okay, so I would like to interject. The tall man must be, very supernatural, right? He's not going around and digging up 350 fucking graves in one graveyard, just, physically by himself, I imagine.
No, he has those little midgets that are...
Oh, right, he's got his little willows. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they're... And what you find out in this movie, which is kind of fun, because that's why I like this movie so much, is that it takes the really weird kind of... all the unexplained stuff from the first movie, and it expands the mythos a little bit, and it explains a little bit, but it still leaves a lot to the imagination, and you're like, why is this happening? But it's entertainment anyway.
Does it explain it, though? Does it? I don't feel it did.
When did Jiminy Glick become one of the co-hosts of this show?
Hey, it's me, Jiminy Glick. Oh my god, that's an old-ass reference.
That's a crazy reference. Wow. Martin Short is just fucking jerking himself off right now over that joke.
Someone remembers me. The practical effects in this are definitely better than the first one. I will give you that, Scott.
The practical effects in this are some of the best from any of the movies that we've watched from 1988.
Yeah, that girl.
Which is saying a lot because we watch a lot from 1988.
Well, the one where they go into the one morgue, and the girl's got a weird thing coming out of her back.
Yeah.
That thing was pretty cool looking. Like, I was okay with that. So, as all of this is going on, as Reggie and Mike are trying to find Liz and heading towards Oregon, Liz's grandfather dies, but he is, as she feared, reanimated by the tall man, and he kidnaps Liz's grandmother. As that's going on, Reggie picks up a hitchhiker, mostly because, as he said, it's lonely on the road.
It gets hard on the road. Okay, I made a point to write a bunch about that one scene because it's probably the weirdest thing that happens in this movie.
Before you jump into it, I just have a note. I wrote, "It's getting hard out here for a pimp." That's all I wrote.
Yeah. We're both talking about the same section here. Where is that in my notes? God, I've taken so many notes and I have to just ignore all of them because Matt's just steamrolling my shit right here.
Well, stop me and talk.
How is it not weird that they're peeing 1 foot from each other, just talking,
just shitting the shit?
Reggie has known Mike since Mike was 12. He's like his uncle basically, and they're just pissing on the side of the road, talking about how he picked up a hitchhiker while Mike was asleep because he wants to get his dick wet. Reggie,
you've never had a disturbingly close uncle? Is this just being mad, I guess?
Yeah, I was going to say, you never had a conversation at the urinal?
So a couple things that we're missing here. There were 2 house explosions in the first 12 minutes of this film, which I find to be very interesting and definitely of note. And also, Matt completely ignores the fact that they've been on the road for X amount of years, and Mike has the same green turtleneck on. That's always bugged me. I'm like, man, you're grabbing. You somehow find all this money as you're going from town to town that the tall man has decimated, and then you go to hardware stores and you leave the money, but you're too cheap to buy yourself a new green turtleneck, or do you have a shitload of green turtlenecks in the trunk with all of your dwarf killing gear? I don't know. But then they have that whole scene where they go shopping, quote unquote, in the hardware store. I wanted to poll you guys. Which one's better? Who did it better? Phantasm II, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh, definitely Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 as well. Also, Scott, I just want to note that the sentence, you have a shitload of green turtlenecks in the trunk with your dwarf killing gear is just everything I always wanted it to be. That was amazing. So
you didn't even laugh. Matt's probably going to forget and cut it.
Nah.
Yeah, I keep muting my mic because I don't want you to hear me burping and farting and sniffling and just being gross in general over here.
Ew. Man, that's...
I fucking told you I was sick. Fuck you. Don't be mean to me.
Oh my god.
That might be my favorite Adam moment ever.
All right, so they find Liz, and then they find Liz.
Well, they pick up Alchemy. They pick up Alchemy first.
Cammy, for short. For new listeners, we don't like hippie names.
Who does, really?
Like is Amarto. That's a good name.
That's a great... Amarto is a quality name.
There's a little tip for you. Amarto. It's the new... It's going to be in. It's going to be in 2017. I'm just telling you.
Actually, the thing is that probably no one except for Adam is going to conceive a child and name them Amarto. So any woman that Adam is currently or in the future trying to seduce, watch out, because he has terrible taste in children's names.
He has terrible taste in children.
If I happen to accidentally do that, you know what? I'll pinky swear you right now. Amarto. It's fucking happening.
So... last week we talked about Matt maybe having worse impulse control than Adam. I take it back.
Yay!
The old hand grenade and the Budweiser can trick that they have to booby trap the front door in case the tall man is going to come knocking. Once they get both of the ladies, so they're paired up for the night. And is this the scene where they I think that this is the scene where they start making out, right? Like, Mike is like, "I'll watch over you," to Liz, and so they fall asleep, and then they like have dream sex.
Yeah.
And then Alchemy and Reggie go get it on, and that scene is just amazing because she's kissing. No one has ever loved the bald head like Alchemy likes Reggie's bald head. She's like kissing it.
I wrote a quote where she literally just says, "God, I love your head."
Oh, it gives hope to bald men everywhere.
Yeah, it gives hope to me. It's happening, all right? So she's like riding him, but he has pants on and she has underpants on. Yeah, like it makes no sense. And then she just loses her shit, and right before the grenade goes off, and then they break the bed, and the grenade goes off, and Reggie's like, "Fuck," and he throws her on the bed, and she's like, "Wow, Reg."
So
you can't go wrong with this movie. It's so good.
Scott, I want you to know that at this point in my notes, it just says a bunch of crazy but sort of awesome shit happens. Like that's where this movie has gotten to at this point for me, is where I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on, but it seems nice.
I want you to know in my notes, I wrote down, "Whoa, I'm feeling pretty bowling ballish, fellas."
At this point, yeah, now we're getting into where the movie literally just turns into, like, let's show off how many crazy special effects we can do with our practical effects, and let's make sure that Adam doesn't know what the hell's happening. I think was one of the plans.
Oh, I never knew what the hell was happening. Don't you worry.
Mission complete. This was definitely like one of those movies where I had a headache watching it last night, and I was like, this is not going to fix my headache. Like, before I put it into the DVD player, I knew that. I was like, all right, here we go. Like, this is going to happen. But then we get to the end. I'm going to jump ahead to them killing the tall man, because that's probably my favorite effect in the whole movie. Where they
You're missing the chainsaw fight, which I was going to poll you guys again. Which one's better, this or TCM2?
I might go with this one on the chainsaw fight.
Yeah. Well, come on, you mother!
No. Which chainsaw fight are we talking about? Are we talking about the Dennis Hopper where he has them like in the holsters and shit? Chainsaw fight in TCM2?
We're talking about when he and Leatherface duke it out with chainsaws versus when Reggie and the guy in the gas mask from My Bloody Valentine decide to have a chainsaw fight in Phantasm II.
Nope, I'm giving it to TCM.
Oh, 2 against 1. Fuck you, Adam.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of crazy deaths at this point involving, like, one of the spheres going through a dude's mouth and, like, you know...
Well, if it can get all the way through his, like... If it can go in his back, up through his rib cage, how is he getting stuck around the skin of his mouth? I mean, it's a great scene. I'm not arguing that, but that really does take me out of it a little bit.
Well, I can't argue with you. Yeah, I mean, I had no immersion into this movie to begin with. I had no fucking idea what was going on, so don't ask me, man. Fuck.
Well, so I like how the tall man is just around, like, wreaking havoc, and he's got his different colored orbs flying around and spurting blood everywhere, cutting people's hands off, stuff like that, ears and all that. But then his weird twin Undertakers are just doing mundane mortuary stuff. They're just, like, one of them is smashing when they're in the crematorium rather. He's just smashing the leftover bones and molars. And then I think it's Liz. I think she tosses him in into the furnace, and then he's like screaming, and then his half melted hand like hits the peephole or whatever. It's great stuff. I love that scene.
Yeah, like the embalming fluid death of the tall man is pretty awesome. And then they ride off in a hearse to victory, and that's when Alchemy turns out to not be human. She attacks Reggie. Reggie falls down, apparently dead. And then Mike and Liz are attacked by the tall man as he goes, "Boy!" And then credits roll, And then, because I was curious, because there's 3 more sequels to this franchise, I was just like, let me remind myself what happens in Phantasm 3. And turns out that Phantasm 3 shows the tall man dying from the embalming fluid, and then a new portal opening, and just a brand new tall man walking out and getting into that hearse. So
that explains it. Because my plan was, when I picked this 2 months ago or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch Phantasm 3, 4, and 5, and I'm going to talk about all of them. I found Phantasm 3 and 4 and maybe 5 on Amazon Video or Shudder or both or something, and I put them on my watch list. And after I got finished watching Phantasm 2, I went to go watch 3, 4, and 5, and they're not available. And I think it's because they just did a boxed set, so I failed because I couldn't get a hold of it. But
I don't think the box set is out yet, but it's coming soon, because I'm thinking about buying it because I want the whole Phantasm series, but Phantasm 3 is like currently out of print, and to buy a used copy is like $40.
I have a question. When
Sure.
Matt gave that explanation to us, to him just sort of stepping out of a portal and just, there's a new tall man. Scott, did you say, oh, that explains it? Is that what you fucking said?
Maybe not in so many words, but yeah.
Yeah. The tall man
that's
comes
what you have
Let's
to
rewind
accept.
the tape here. I'm pretty sure it was recorded, so we can definitely check that out.
The tall man is an interdimensional being from that weird portal thing that Mike was in at one point, where it was all like weird red colors. He's reaching out for help and whatever. So I don't know. I feel like if you watch all 5 of them, I'm sure it makes sense.
Oh,
No,
that explains
I can
it.
promise you that I've seen 3 and 4. I have seen the 4 of the 5. 4 makes no sense. It's like, if I remember that one correctly, it's something like Mad Max in the Phantasm universe. It's so weird. It's like Thunderdome, but it's not. No questions are answered. It's Don't even think that anything gets like any sort of resolution in these films.
So
that explains it.
I'm thinking, so what else so Don Cascarelli really hasn't done that much outside of the
He did John Dies
Phantasm
at
movies.
the end.
He did John Dies at the End, Bubba Hotep, and Beastmaster. But really,
Yeah, he did Bubba Hotep. I mean, that's probably his pinnacle, I'd say.
I would agree with that, actually.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep. Well, because Bubba Hotep probably wasn't written by him, so it was probably a
No, he wrote the
better plot than
screenplay,
he would ever.
but it was
Really?
based on a short story that someone had written.
Yeah, someone
Okay,
sat him
well-
down, gave him 50 fucking Adderall, and said, make it coherent, please.
All right, so what did you guys watch this week?
Well, I can tell you what I didn't watch. I did not watch Phantasm 3, 4, and 5 because I couldn't find it. But I did watch. I didn't get around to it before Halloween, so I watched it a couple days after, and it's on Netflix. It's called Hellions. Came out, I think, last year, and it's got the T-1000 in it. It's a Halloween movie. It's about this girl who high school girl who gets knocked up by her stupid boyfriend, and then she finds out on Halloween after going to her doctor, and then it's like this crazy fast Species movie franchise-esque pregnancy, where over the course of the night she becomes 9 months pregnant, and there are these little demon children that cannot be killed that are coming after her. It's kind of like Phantasm in that it's more about the visuals and less about what actually is happening. It was okay. It had a great budget for me never having heard of anything about it until it came up on Netflix. But
Is the whole point of the movie just like a pregnancy scare movie? Do you know what I mean? Like that sort of like weird
it's
sub
not-
genre of movies?
it's not a Rosemary's Baby. It's different. I mean, it's hard to explain. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would put it in that subgenre, but I wouldn't say that it's successful. It's an okay film. I don't want my hour and a half back or anything, but it's just because it was pretty to look at. You know, it was pretty to look at, but not really worth I mean, I saw people praising it, and I also saw people being really mediocre about it. And I think that the mediocre reviews are the ones that are probably more spot on. And I started watching The Flash. I think I might have said that last week. So I'm just working my way through The Flash. And, man, Barry Allen has some poor impulse control as well when it comes to not fucking the timeline.
I'll go. I'll let you wrap up here, Matt, because it's not particularly interesting for me. I am catching up on Season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Hey, Adam, is it any good?
Season 1 was, but to be honest, I lost my steam on Season 2. It's just more of the same, to be honest with you. I could streamline each episode for you right now. They have the book. They need to do something with the book. Oh shit, we lost the book. Now we have to get the book back.
Are you sure you're not talking about Todd in the Book of Pure Evil? Because it's exactly what happens every episode on that show, too.
We should check the screenwriters on this shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'd still love seeing Bruce Campbell. I'd still love seeing, what's her name? Xena.
I think her name is Xena.
Wait a second. Xena can't fly. I told you I'm not Xena. I'm Lucy Lawless. It's still great seeing them. I don't know. It's just I can't get excited about it anymore. I'm just sort of watching it in the background at this point.
Are you sure that's not the NyQuil?
Well, it might be. Yeah, I'm pretty sick for the past couple days that I've been watching it.
As you know, I was at Disney, so I didn't get a lot of viewing of anything in. But what I did watch last night, because I was kind of in one of those, like, I got a little bit of a headache. I just suffered through Phantasm II. I do love this movie, Scott.
Boo-hoo.
But I was like, let me put on something that I've seen enough times, but I haven't seen in a while, so like I can like choose if I want to pay attention to it. So I started rewatching Adventures of Pete and Pete, and that show was so much better than I gave it credit for when I was a kid. Like, that is one of those kids shows that went right over my head, but as an adult, I'm like, this is one of the most surreal, bizarre fucking TV shows. Like, you guys have both seen Adventures of Pete and Pete, right?
I mean, when I was 12.
Like 50 fucking things me and Scott have suggested to you, and you sit down and you watch fucking Adventures of Pete and Pete again. What the hell, man?
I'm telling you, Scott, especially Scott, because Scott's got that. Well, actually, I think Adam would like a little bit more, but like, this show is so insane. Like, the last episode I watched last night was an episode called Yellow Fever, and the premise of the episode is that they're on a class field trip, and the school bus driver's just gotten dumped by the other school bus driver that he's been dating. And he has a mental break and just drives the school bus off into the woods somewhere, and they have to learn how to survive in the bus for the next, like, week. And it's just following the insanity of, like, emotional breakdowns, and it's so dark and bizarre. It is the most bizarre show that I think Nickelodeon has ever put towards a kid.
That's not true. They released Rocko's Modern Life.
No, this is more bizarre than Rocko's Modern Life, and Rocko's Modern Life is pretty fucking bizarre. Pete and Pete is more insane than Rocko's Modern Life.
Now you've piqued my interest, because I've never seen this show before.
Oh, check out The Adventures of Pete and Pete. So that was Phantasm II from 1988, as selected by Scott. We are rocking through the last bit of 2016. We've got a bunch of great things set up for 2017 already. Thank you for the Patreon donations. Make sure that you're always checking out patreon.com/horror movie night. I've been trying to keep that updated at least once a week. We're going to have a newsletter. You should have received a newsletter by now if you did the $10 or higher donation. Filled with all of the previews of what's coming up in the month of November. So look forward to that. There's some articles in there as well. It's going to be a really good time. We're going to keep doing those every single month. We've got a couple bonus episodes recorded, but we know, we need to kind of reach our goal before we release those bad boys. Just saying, throw some money our way. If a bunch of you just donate $1 a month, that goes a very long way. It doesn't seem like it, but it really does. Also, make sure that you rate and review us on SoundCloud and all of that good jazz, iTunes, and so on and so forth. We'll be back next week with a pick from one of the listeners. So, look forward to that. We may have even We might even talk about Todd and the Book of Pure Evil next week, if that's any type of hint for what's coming up.
Yeah, that's probably all we're going to talk about next.
That's all I'm going to talk about, at least.
Problem with having this really nice mic is I did a test, and you can also hear all the background noise in here too, can't you?
Not too badly.
Okay. Turn up the volume, baby.
I can't. I just got to eat the fucking thing the whole time. It's literally in my mouth right now.
Don't worry too much, though, because I throw it through Levelator, and it makes everyone's mic level the same. So,
I just did you start recording already, Matt?
Oh yeah.
So you have the part where he's like, it's literally in my mouth right now?
Do you just want to take that and throw it on a loop for a couple of turns there?
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.